8 years ago, my father stole my son. Now I know Pete is with Justin Hunt. To get him back, I'll have to make Justin fall for me. Justin and Pete moved to New York for a fresh start. In Central Park, my plan begins. But a woman recognizes me as Yvette Smith's daughter, claiming to know everything. What secrets does the woman hold? Can I deceive Justin? Will I get Pete back? Would you like to meet your family? Family. The word felt foreign. Part of me wanted to walk away to pretend this conversation never happened. But another part, the one that had spent years wondering about my mother, whispered that I needed to know. I'm Melissa, Simon Anderson's wife. Simon is your mother's brother, your uncle. That makes you our niece. I stared at her, trying to process what she just said. My uncle? My mother had a family? I had a family? Melissa's eyes welled up. We didn't even know your name. I swallowed hard. This was too much, but I forced the words out. My name is Nora, and this is Cherry, my daughter. Melissa's gaze shifted to Cherry with emotion. Your grandmother. She still longs to see your mother. She would be over the moon if she found out about you. I don't know, I admit it. I didn't even know you existed until today. Melissa nodded. I get it, Nora. It's a lot to process. But if you'd like, you can meet her. No pressure. Before I could respond, Cherry tugged at my hand. Do you have ice cream there? Melissa laughed. Yes, sweetheart, we do. I knelt in front of Cherry, searching her innocent face. Cherry, we're going to meet family. Cherry's eyes lit up. Let's go eat ice cream and meet them. Melissa wiped away a tear and held out her hand. I hesitated for only a moment before reaching for it. The Anderson home was warm and welcoming, yet it felt too grand, too unfamiliar. I wasn't used to this. Simon stood near the entrance anxiously. The second I stepped inside, he spoke. I've been waiting since the moment Melissa called. You look just like her. I smiled, unsure how to respond. Melissa gestured toward the window. Mom is waiting. At the far end of the room, an elderly woman sat in a rocking chair. She was blind, but her expression was serene. Melissa teased gently. Mom, can you guess who's here? The woman smiled. Who is it? I hesitated. What was I supposed to call her? Hi, Mrs. Anderson, I finally said. My name is Nora. The smile vanished. Her hands trembled. I know who you are, she whispered. You have the same voice as your mother. Where were you all this time? My throat tightened. I didn't know about you. I gently nudged Cherry forward. This is my daughter, Cherry. Cherry beamed, running toward her. Hi, Grandma. Tears spilled down the old woman's face as she embraced Cherry. Oh, my sweet child. Then she reached out, her trembling fingers searching. May I hold your hand? For a second I hesitated. Then I placed my hand in hers. You feel just like her, she whispered. Melissa smiled softly. Welcome home, Nora. Later that night I sat in my mother's room, untouched, like she had just stepped out and never returned. I pressed my phone to my ear. Solo, I need everything you can find on Simon Anderson and his family. Solo's keyboard clacked in the background. Harmonia Pharmaceuticals, no criminal records, no fraud, no scandals. They're clean. I let out a breath. So they're decent people, Solo smirked. And that's what the records say? Why, what's going on? Turns out, they're my family, my mom's brother. Solo let out a low whistle. Damn, that's unexpected. Are you sure? I don't trust them, I admitted. But I need to know who my mother really was. I stood, pacing. And Justin? He's still in town, right? Solo confirmed. Yeah, be careful, Nora. A smirk tugged at my lips. Always. I hung up and turned to the bookshelf. Then a painting wobbled and crashed to the floor. As I knelt to pick it up, a folded letter slipped from behind the canvas. The paper was aged, fragile. My hands shook as I unfolded it. If you're reading this, then I have done what I must. Sometimes, leaving is the only way to protect those we love, even if it means being hated for it. You may never understand, but one day, you will see. My stomach clenched. And Ian Smith? I am sorry. I owe you the biggest apology. Ian Smith? Who was he? The door creaked open. I quickly stuffed the letter into my pocket as Mrs. Anderson stood there, leaning on her cane. Nora, I straightened. Mrs. Anderson, let me help you. She shook her head gently. No, dear. I know my way to this room very well. I come here often. And you may call me Grandma, but only if you want to. I didn't know how to respond. But when she held out a small, aged locket, I took it. This belonged to your mother. Open it. Inside was a tiny, faded picture. My mother as a child. Why are you giving me this? I asked quietly. She smiled softly. Because you are hers, and no matter where you've been, you'll always be part of her. After spending a week in the Anderson villa, the house felt different now, familiar. I sat on the couch watching Cherry playing beside Mrs. Anderson, listening to one of her stories. Across the room, Melissa and Simon chatted. For the longest time, family had meant manipulation, control, and pain. But this, it felt real. They showed me what a real family looks like. I took a slow breath. I had to help them. Turning to Melissa, I asked, "Would you mind if I looked at Grandma's medical files?" Melissa blinked at me, surprised, but then nodded. "Of course. Give me a second." She walked over to a cabinet and returned with a folder. "Here you go." I flipped through the reports, scanning the details. Once done, I shut the file and stood up. "I need to get a few things. I'll be back later. Cherry, be a good girl, okay?" Cherry looked up, grinning. "Okay, Mom." That night when I returned, I went directly to Mrs. Anderson's room. She sat in her rocking chair as I entered. I hesitated, then finally said, "Grandma." A soft gasp. Her hands trembled as they gripped the armrests. "Say that again," she whispered. I swallowed, my voice softer this time. "Grandma." She took a shaky breath, then smiled. "Come, sit with me." I walked over and sat beside her. A long pause stretched between us before I spoke. "I went through your medical files." She smirked, amused. "Like mother, like daughter. I think I have a medicine that might help you see." Silence. Then she smiled. "You truly are just like her. Always trying to help everyone." "You don't have to take it if you don't want to," I said. I expected hesitation, but there was none. Her voice was steady. "I trust you, Nora. I'll take them." I pulled out a small ointment and a bottle of medicine, gently placing them in her hands. One ointment, one pill daily. She held them close, nodding. "Thank you, my dear." As I stood up and moved toward the door, I hesitated. "Good night, Grandma." "Good night, Nora." The next morning when I sat at the breakfast table, Melissa smiled warmly. "Nora, I'd like you to meet our daughter Cheryl. She's finally back from her college trip." A young woman with a kind face and a bright smile walked in. "It's so nice to finally meet you, Nora," she said sweetly. I nodded, offering a small smile in return. "Hi, Cheryl. You're the one studying herbology, right?" Her eyes lit up. "Yes, I want to work at our pharmaceutical company one day. I've heard so much about you this past week." "You really are a spitting image of Aunt Yvette. I've seen so many pictures of her, and when I found out about you, I couldn't wait to come home to meet you and Cherry." Cherry, always quick to warm up to people, grinned. "Hi, Aunt Cheryl. Did you bring back any cool souvenirs?" Cheryl chuckled. "Maybe a few. I'll show you later." Melissa glanced at the clock, her smile faltering slightly. "Cheryl, could you check on Grandma? She's usually up by now, but she's late for breakfast today." "Of course, Mom." Cheryl nodded and left the room, just as the conversation was settling. Simon's phone vibrated against the table. "It's Justin Hunt. I'll be back." He stood, pushing his chair back. "Nora, Cherry, enjoy your breakfast. Your Aunt Melissa makes the best pancakes in the world." Justin Hunt. How does my uncle know him? Melissa must have noticed my silence. I glanced at her, debating whether to ask. Finally, I went with something else. "Aunt Melissa, do you know who Ian Smith is?" At the mention of the name, she froze, not expecting this. She opened her mouth as if to respond, but before she could, frantic footsteps ran down the stairs. Cheryl's panicked voice rang out. "Mom, Dad, Grandma isn't waking up, her eyes. They're all swollen and red. I think she put something on her eyes and it's... I don't know. Please just come." As the urgency gripped the Anderson home, fear tightened around my heart. I had finally found a semblance of family, but now faced a sudden crisis. What had Mrs. Anderson applied to her eyes? Was it related to my efforts to help her see again? And why did the mention of Ian Smith cause such a reaction in Aunt Melissa?